Good evening, students. Again, we are going to deal with the same chapter, that is inflammation for BSc nursing second year students, pathology section. So, up to chronic inflammation we have dealt, and what are the histopathology of chronic inflammation that we have dealt. Now, we are going to study about the cells involved in chronic inflammation. The cells involved in chronic inflammations are macrophages, lymphocytes, plasma cells, mast cells, eosinophils. So, let's see what kind of these cells are. See in detail. Macrophages are the phagocytic cells derived from the blood monocytes and are the key cellular components of chronic inflammatory cells. And these are also called as the phagocytic cells. Phagocytic cells, and these are derived from blood monocytes and are key cellular components of chronic inflammatory response. Then lymphocytes, these are get activated in chronic inflammatory condition by contact with an antigen or by exposure to the bacterial toxin. So, the activation of lymphocytes occurs in chronic inflammation condition when it comes in contact with the antigen or exposure to bacterial toxin. Once they are activated, the lymphokines production takes place. And in turn, it stimulates the monocytes and macrophages. Then we will talk about the plasma cells. These are the plasma cells. The immunoglobulins are main plasma cells which have functions in phagocytosis. Plasma cells are immunoglobulins like albumin, globulinate. These are main cells which are plasma cells and have functions in the phagocytosis. Plasma cells produce antibodies directed against entire foreign antigens or against self-altered antigens. Then we come about to know the mast cells. The mast cells functions as basophils to produce the these are scattered to produce the fibers. So, mast cells are scattered in connective tissue and play as a role of acute as well as persistent inflammatory reaction. The major mediators of anaphylactic reactions and certain response to parasitic infection. They mainly work as basophilics and they are scattered in the connective tissue and play a role as well as persistent inflammatory reaction. Then we talk about the eosinophils. Eosinophils are immune reaction mediated by these are directly seen in immune reaction which are mediated by the immunoglobulin E and parasitic infection. So now we see the morphological pattern of chronic inflammation. The morphological patterns of chronic inflammation. The chronic inflammation can be of two types: non-specific inflammation and granulomatous inflammation. What are chronic non-specific inflammation and granulomatous inflammation? Let's see. Chronic non-specific inflammation is characterized by non-specific mononuclear inflammatory cell infiltrate of macrophages, lymphocytes and plasma cells. So here the characterization takes place by non-specific mononuclear inflammatory cells. That is why it is called as non-specific inflammation of macrophages, lymphocytes and plasma cells. This type of inflammation is mainly seen in the variety of conditions like chronic peptic ulcers of stomach, osteomyelitis, emphysema, psoriasis, Crohn's disease and chronic cholecystitis. Fibrosis is a common feature of chronic inflammatory reaction and it becomes prominent once the activation of inflammation and tissue destruction has been subsided and is superseded by repair and healing. Chronic granulomatous inflammation is an inflammation in granuloma called as chronic granulomatous inflammation. So, chronic granulomatous inflammation is a distinctive type of chronic inflammation where the predominant cell type is an activated macrophage which has modified epithelial like epithelioid appearance. The characteristic feature is the formation of granulomas. The granuloma is the focal aggregate of activated macrophages which are surrounded by a rim of lymphocytes and few plasma cells. Some epithelioid cells used to form multinucleate giant cells. Some of the granulomas may show central areas of necrosis. Few examples of granulomatous inflammation are tuberculosis, that is characterized by central caseous necrosis, sarcoidosis foreign by granulomas, fungal infection, calf rat disease, parasitic infections, and leprosy. There are some systemic signs of systemic effects of chronic inflammation, which are signs and symptoms may be fever, leukocytosis, anemia of chronic disease, then erythrocyte sedimentation rate. So up to here I will finish. So here we have seen what? Here we have seen the cells involved in the chronic inflammation, which are macrophages, lymphocytes, plasma cells, mast cells, eosinophils. Then we have seen the morphological pattern of chronic inflammation, which are of two types: non-specific inflammation and granulomatous inflammation. And then what is chronic granulomatous inflammation also we have seen. And then we have seen the systemic effects of the chronic inflammation, which are fever, leukocytosis, anemia, and elevated erythrocyte sedimentation. So, thank you class.